Today, I'm going to start with a new chapter, thermodynamics. The introduction part I'm going to discuss in this video. What is the meaning of thermodynamics? The word meaning of thermo, it is something related to heat. Dynamics, it is related to the flow, movement, likewise. So, what is the meaning of thermodynamics? Heat movement or heat changes. Heat we can tell about in terms of energy. It is one form of the energy. So thermodynamics, simply we can say that it is related to energy changes. So we are going to start with chemical thermodynamics. So what is the meaning of chemical thermodynamics? All of you knows that chemistry means there is a lot of chemical reactions. In the case of chemical reactions, we know that there is an energy changes. These energy changes takes place either in the form of heat or light or work or electricity. Any of these forms there is an energy changes takes place in chemical reactions. But in thermodynamics, we can say that it is the branch of chemistry or branch of science which deals with energy in various forms and their interconversion. Chemical thermodynamics means, we said about that the thermodynamics, it is heat changes or energy changes. Chemical thermodynamics means, in the case of a chemical reaction, if there is a heat changes or energy changes takes place, that studying branch we are calling the name is chemical thermodynamics. So we can say that chemical thermodynamics deals with the heat changes associated with the chemical reaction. So here heat changes. So there is two important terms it's here in this heat changes. Heat change, how it is happening? Due to the work. When any work it is taking place, that time the change it will be happen. So here this heat and work are the two important terms in thermodynamics. This is the way of easy remembering the thermodynamics. Heat changes, it is said to be thermodynamics, and the heat changes means change it will be happen always when there is a work. So heat and work are the two important terms of the thermodynamics. So we can say one more way the thermodynamics, it is the relationship. The thermodynamics is the relationship between this heat and work. And this heat in terms of thermodynamics, heat we are consider it as a form of energy. So according to the situations, either in terms of the word, the heat or energy we are using. So here this heat or energy and work both are interconvertible. That we can explain with the help of different examples. Yes, first one, we are taking food. Daily we are taking. Yes, so after having the food, we are getting some energy. Due to that energy we are working, right? So energy we are getting from the food, and because of that only we are working, right? So energy we are getting, due to that we are working. So what do you understand? The energy, it is interconvertible. Energy changes to the form of work, right? It is an easy example. Lot of other example, it's the turbine, electricity making. You know that how it is the, when water it falls on the turbine, due to the running of the turbine the electricity it is produced. So in that example, what do you understand? Turbine rotation, turbine running, it is one of the form of the work. Due to that we are getting electricity. Electricity, it is a form of energy. So here what happens? The work it is changed to in the form of an energy. So in the previous case, from the food we are getting energy. Due to that we are working. So energy is changed to work. But here what we said, due to the running of turbine, the turbine is working. Due to that electricity it is produced. So work is changed to energy. So that's why we are saying that work and energy both are interconvertible. They are related to each other. Now let us discuss some basic terms which are required in the study of thermodynamics. Important terms. So we can use the term terminology. Yes. One of the important term it is system and surrounding. That it is very easy portion, that word system and surrounding. Meant by the word system. It is very easy word. So for easy understanding, I am taking one example. This is consider one beaker. In chemistry, we are mainly dealing with the chemical reaction. So one of the chemical reaction we are doing in this beaker. Just imagine like that. So for that I took two components. Any of the two substances it is taken here, and one of the chemical reaction is taking place in this beaker. Right. So this beaker we are observing now, or about this chemical reaction we are studying now. So this whole beaker we are consider it as a system. Then outside of this beaker we are telling that the new word, that is surrounding. The outside of the beaker, that whole area, what all things outside of that beaker, all under the word surrounding. Okay, so we can discuss the definition now. It is the system means it is a part of the universe which is under study. Under study means here we are studying about the chemical reaction in this beaker. That one, it is said to be the system. It is having a definite boundary. There is a outside of the beaker, it is having well defined boundary. It's there. Sometime in some of the situations we just imagine that boundary. So that's why boundary we are saying that it may be real or imaginary. So outside of that one we are calling it, the name it is surrounding. The remaining, if you just imagine the whole universe, you know that the whole universe, in that when you study about any small thing that you considered as a system, surrounding we can say that the remaining part of the universe except the system. So universe as a total when you consider system plus surrounding. So you know that when you just imagine this is a beaker, outside what all things is there, that all together we can consider as a surrounding. So when you add system plus surrounding, we can get the thing universe. Okay, now we can start the next topic, that is types of a system. There is mainly three types of a system: open system, closed system and isolated system. Open system. With the example we can prove the same. Just imagine this is either a hot cup of water or hot tea, anything you can. So this one beaker I took, here hot water I took. The beaker it is opened. There is no lid or there is no closed situation now. So in this situation, you know that after some time what will be happen, that water, it will be cooled. Right? So then when you wait some more time, what will be there? The content of the water it is reduced from that beaker. Why? Due to the evaporation process. So first starting time it was a hot water. After some time it is changed to cool water. Then when you wait some more time, there is a content of the water, it will be reduced again due to the process evaporation. So what it is really happened though? You know that the hot water means here the heat is the energy form first. Then cool condition, how the water attains the cooling situation after some time. Why? Because this hot condition or heat from this hot water, it is going to out. That means the temperature it is going to out. So we are studying about this beaker now. So this one we can imagine it as system. Right? So outside of the beaker what all things it's there, that you can imagine it as surrounding. Yeah. Then what will be, how can we explain the open system? Open system is a simple thing. We can explain like this. The heat from this beaker, that means from the system, it is going to the surrounding. So we can say that heat is transferred to the surrounding. That means energy is transferred to the surrounding. That happens at the first. After some time what happens? When it kept the same way for a long hours, what will happen? The amount, the water content also reduced. The water, we can say that it is matter. Okay, first we said about that energy is transferred between the system and surrounding. Not only that, we can say that matter is also exchanged from the system to the surrounding. It is going from the system to the surrounding. That is why the water content from this beaker, it is reduced. Some of the water, it is escaped as a vapor form to the surrounding. So open system means here both energy means heat, it is transferred. Not only that, matter also transferred. Such a system we can call, the name is open system. Okay, next one, closed system. The same situation, you just imagine this is one closed system. Here hot water, it's there, right? So when it is a closed system, hot water also there. Surely, just imagine after some time what will be happen? After 1 hour, it surely a cold water, right? What about the content, the matter inside that beaker? There is no reduction of that content. Why? Because we closed. So what happens? Due to evaporation, surely the water molecule, the particles, the water molecule, it will be evaporated. But when it reaches to this lid, it will be come back as in the form of water again, due to the process of condensation. So the amount of this water, it is not reduced inside this beaker when we kept for a long time also, because there is no exchange of matter is happen between the system and surrounding, but the heat is exchanged between the system and surrounding. That is why when we touch this beaker, after some time it will be cooled because of transferring of heat, it is happened. Okay, next one, so we can say that there is no exchange of matter, but there is an exchange of energy is possible between the system and surrounding. Clear now? Heat, it is transferred, that is energy, it is transferred, but matter, it is not transferred. Okay. Next is isolated system. It is very simple example. We all familiar with that thermoflask. What it is, the thermoflask? Thermoflask means it will be, we are using for the purpose of keeping either the cold water or hot water for a long time as in the same form, right? So is there any exchange of heat or energy or matter to the surrounding? Just imagine thermoflask as a system. Is there any energy change to the surrounding happens? No, because that's why it is keeping its temperature for a long time, right? So that is the next one. There is no exchange of energy or matter between the system and surrounding. One more way the system, it is classified. That is, depends upon the number of particles. How many number of particles in this system? On that basis, the system, it is classified again. There is two types of system, that is microscopic and macroscopic. Micro means, you know that from that word itself, small number, few number of particles, it's there. So when the system contain, if there is a small number of particles or few number of particles, that type of a system we can call, the name is microscopic. Macro means big. So there is a large number of particles, it's there. That type of a system we can call, the name is macroscopic particles. Right? In the case of a thermodynamics chapter, we are mainly discussing on macroscopic particles rather than the microscopic. So when you consider the macroscopic particle, what all energy changes happening there, what all heat changes happening there, on that basis we are studying mainly in this thermodynamics. Okay, so next term we need to study about that macroscopic properties. Properties which is related to the macroscopic system, that it is said to be the macroscopic properties. Right? So there is a lot of properties, it's there, that are pressure, temperature, volume, length, breadth, height. Then internal energy, enthalpy, entropy, Gibbs free energy, heat capacity. Likewise, different terms it's there. These all are different properties. These all terms you will study in this chapter itself. Okay, so this all together we can conclude that there is two types of system. It's the microscopic and macroscopic. We are considering mainly macroscopic particles in this chapter. Okay, now we can discuss on the macroscopic properties in detail. There is two types of macroscopic particle. This is very important question also every time. There is two types of macroscopic properties, extensive and intensive. We studied that what is macroscopic properties. It is related to the number of particles. There is a more number of particles. That is said to be macroscopic system, and the properties related to that one, it is said to be the macroscopic properties. So first one, extensive. Extensive properties means it depends on the amount of matter present in the system. How many number of particles it's there. So on that basis, all the thing it will be decided. So the properties which depends upon the amount of matter present in the system, it is said to be the word extensive. Then intensive. Intensive means intensive, independent. So properties which are independent of, not dependent of the amount of substance present in the system. So when there is one property which depends on extensive, which is not depending, that is said to be the intensive. Intensive, easy remembering of that intensive, that it is independent. Okay, so otherwise surely every time children are confusing about this, the word extensive and intensive. Then the examples also at the same time very important. Here the properties which depends on the amount of the matter present in the system, that are examples you have to be studied: volume, length, breadth, height, enthalpy, entropy, Gibbs free energy. These all depends on extensive. That means amount of the matter present. Then the properties which is independent. Pressure, it is not related with the how much particle it is there. The volume, temperature, that's not depends on the how much amount it is present there. D is density, surface tension, viscosity and refractive index. Here there is a one mistake. Volume, it is surely depends on the amount of matter. So it's not an intensive property. It is an extensive property. So this is very important terms, extensive and intensive. Okay.